I just got word that our second interviewee, Ryan Kellogg, a pitcher out of the Cubs minor league system, is ready for us. Ryan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing well, thanks. How about you guys?
We're doing well. Second episode here on the Ivy. But our first question for you, Ryan, today is what's your daily routine like in the offseason?
The offseason is a big time to get ready for the upcoming season. The first little bit is more to recover from the long season that we just had. And then once that recovery period is over, it's kind of start building for the next season that's coming up. So right now the routine is wake up, go to the facility, work out with a few guys there. So we'll go throw, we'll do our conditioning, we'll get our lift in, do our shoulder work, and then we're pretty much done for the day with regards to baseball activities.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it sounds like you have a pretty busy schedule. So once you do get home or wherever you do live, what do you fill your free time with at night?
A lot of Netflix. That's a big thing. Usually it's whoever I'm living with for the off season. We'll hang out. We'll find a new show to binge or go back and go back and watch shows that we had started watching during the season. Watch a lot of the other sports games. Obviously, our season ends before the big league one does, so we'll keep up with our team, see how they're doing in the playoff races or in the playoffs, and or go socialize. We spend a lot of time away from our friends and family, so it's nice if you can spend a little bit of time, go grab dinner with a buddy or old college teammate or anything like that.
Yeah. Is there any special reason, Ryan, that you choose the number 32 to wear with the Cubs MILB team? Is there any reason behind that, a story behind it?
Growing up, I was number 30. I used to be number 15, and then somebody else took that one year, so I was just number 30. And I wore that probably from age 12 to 18, and then I was 49 with the junior national team and 49 at ASU. And so 49 isn't a very common number in the minor league. So I was like, you know what? Those aren't available. That number's not available. So I'll just go back to 30.
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting story. And so this next question regards probably the best major league player currently, Mike Trout. So a 3-2 count on Mike Trout with the bases loaded and 2 outs. What pitch are you going to throw to him and why?
I'm going to have to go with the changeup. I feel like that would just be my best bet against him. That's always been my best pitch. And so game situation, game on the line like that, I'm going to have to go with my best pitch against him. Obviously, whatever else has been thrown in the count might dictate, but obviously not really knowing that in this situation, I'm probably just going to have to say my changeup.
Yeah. The next question, Ryan, we have for you is, explain the relationship you have with your catcher and how much freedom do you have to choose what to throw? What's the relationship like there with your guy?
We have complete freedom in that sense of what to throw. The running joke, or not really a joke, but they always say that it's RERA on the line. So whatever they put down is a suggestion. And as long as you have a good reason for what you're going to throw, then they're usually on board with it. They're going to put down what they think is best, but maybe you don't have confidence in that pitch in that situation, or maybe you don't have confidence in that pitch that day. Maybe you just want to throw something else. Maybe you see something in the hitter's swing that he might not see, something like that. But yeah, the relationship you have with them is very important. And the more you throw to a guy, the more he'll understand what you like to throw in certain situations. And it's always nice when you have a good relationship with your catcher and the game kind of just rolls along, where you're not shaking them off 2 or 3 times every hitter just to try to get to the pitch you want. Kind of keeps the game in rhythm, gets you into a rhythm, gets them into a rhythm. And so building that relationship throughout the season is really important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. I mean, so our next question is, with all the extra attention paid to pitcher health and arm issues, what do you do in terms of training to stay healthy and along with things like staying mentally alert during the game?
Throwing is very important if you're talking about arm health. Just becoming a really good thrower before you become a pitcher is paramount. Understanding what your body needs to be, or what kind of condition your arm needs to be until you're ready to go out there and compete every day. And also having the base that you build through your long toss program, and through your daily throwing program really puts you in a good position to be able to survive a long season like we have. So those are really important things. And along with the throwing program, we do a bunch of shoulder work, shoulder exercises to strengthen the scap and rotator cuff and all that sort of stuff, just to make sure our body's as strong as possible to endure the workload.
All right. The next question we have for you, Ryan, is if you ever would possibly get a chance to play another position instead of pitcher, what would it be and why? And, we've seen in the last couple of years at least an increase in some second baseman, third baseman, position players being able to pitch. What would be your second position if you could?
I feel like it would have to be a first baseman. I played first base in high school and travel ball, that sort of stuff. I'm also left-handed, so that kind of restricts me. I'm not really fast enough to play the outfield. So I feel like my best bet would probably be as a first baseman.
Yeah, so kind of relating to first baseman, why did you stop playing first baseman? As you said, you did in high school, and then you went to ASU. So was that a switch between high school and ASU, or ASU and the minor leagues?
Oh, that was from high school to college was where that first base career ended. It was just one of those things where just had to really focus on one, and I was a better pitcher than I was a first baseman, and like being a left-handed thrower, better off on the mound than I would have been at first base. I don't know how I would have hit in college. The pitching we see in Canada is a lot different than the competition that you see down here in the U.S., especially when I'm competing against guys that came out of Florida or Southern California, Texas, all that sort of stuff. These guys that can play year-round, and the level of competition between high school baseball in the U.S. versus high school baseball in Canada. I would have loved to have hit in college. I asked for at-bats or to hit for myself, all that sort of stuff, but probably for a good reason that I didn't get to hit for myself, and we left it to the guys who really knew what they were doing in the box.
Yeah. Besides baseball, Ryan, what are the professional teams do you root for? I know that obviously nowadays NFL playoffs is just so big recently, but what's your stance on other professional teams? Do you root for any?
I root for the Maple Leafs. I was born about 45 minutes east of Toronto, so all Toronto sports teams. When it comes to the NFL, I didn't really grow up with an NFL team just because there's none in Canada. So I said if I had to pick one, it would either have to be the Buffalo Bills because they're about 2 hours from us, or I've lived in Arizona now for the last about 6 years, so it'd have to be the Cardinals.
All right.
So relating to that and the other professional sports teams, growing up, was there ever a possibility of you playing a different sport?
I played hockey for 6 or 7 years, just like in what we call house league, pretty much like you sign up to play. I wasn't very good my first couple of years. I didn't really know how to skate, but I just feel like I absolutely love playing hockey. I love skating, love the pace, still love watching it, but I just feel like I had started so late. Maybe if I had started when I was younger, maybe I would have picked it up. Maybe I would have been better. But baseball was the first game I fell in love with. Started when I was 5 years old, and never looked back.
So is hockey still something you enjoy playing today as during free time?
I wouldn't say I get to do it as much as I'd like to. I don't think we really get to do it all, especially living out here in the desert.
Yeah.
But I do love to watch it if it's on. I would love to get out there and play more. Used to go home at like Christmas time, and some of my buddies would go out and we'd play pond hockey if the weather permits. But growing up playing road hockey, pond hockey, like mini sticks, it's just such a Canadian thing to do, and it's kind of what we grew up seeing and watching. So that's kind of what we start to do. I wish I got to get out there more. I've been skating a handful of times out here, but nothing quite like what it used to be.
So being that you grew up in Canada, Ryan, did you notice a difference maybe from talking to your friends now that you met in the Cubs minor league system, but did you notice a difference in recruitment processes being that it's a different country, or do you think it's more similar and because it's such a global sport?
I'd say it's becoming more similar, but it's still not as easy to be seen